All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in to another Mindset Check. Bree Bornstein is on the show. Bree, thanks for being on the show.
Welcome, Bree.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having me, David. I'm excited about today's topic, excited about having Bree on board. Life is fast paced. There's a lot to do every day. I know Bree's really busy and a great mom, and so I'm really excited about hearing how she makes it all happen.
Now, we can all agree that time is the most valuable resource. So if we spend our time worried, doubting ourselves, or in any low vibration, then we are being horrible stewards of the one thing that we have a limited amount of. How you invest your time speaks more about you than anything else, I believe. In every moment that we're with loved ones and you're thinking about the things that make you come alive and you radiate that and you express and you exude happiness, I think that's what's being a good steward's all about. We always talk about time being valuable, but that I think there's two ways that we can appreciate that. One is more of a passive approach, right? So you're just kind of like, okay, yeah, I know that time is limited. I get that. So I'm trying to be in the moment. Another thing is injecting your moments with energy, with a certain mindset, with certain principles. So, for example, if you're with family, are you with family or are you just physically with family, right? Many times I've been with my family and mentally I'm not there. So I'm being a bad steward of my time, right? Because I'm splitting my time, trying to be two places at once and doing a disservice. So Bree, you are, I think, a wizard when it comes to this. You have just a unique way, a ninja approach to how you manage your business and your life at home. You know, I know you're raising beautiful girls to be, powerful, positive, kind, and loving. So let's talk about that. How are you doing all this? And again, thanks for being on and sharing this part of your life with us.
Thanks for having me. So yeah, I mean, I'm extremely busy and I have three girls that I'm, raising and trying to teach, to work hard. And again, I mean, they see how hard I work, which I think is really great, but they also see that I really love what I do. So it really doesn't feel like work. And that's kind of one of my biggest things I try to teach them is just like find what you love and it's not going to ever feel like work, which, you hear that all the time. But, and kind of back to like what you were saying about like, I'm with my family, especially with all this quarantine and stuff, trying to work and then be with your family. But I'm really not there because my mind's focused on work. What I've been kind of doing lately is since I work so hard, I mean, my 8-year-old's like, you're always on the phone. Like, I never see you without the phone or the computer. What I try to do is just like a little mini, like, we go up for the night to Santa Monica, and I literally don't use my phone. I have my team members help me. We go roller skating, we go out to dinner. I mean, I literally focus on my kids, seriously, like 48 hours. And then I'm back to the grind. That's kind of how I handle it. I take little mini vacations because I'm too busy to go away for somewhere for like a week. I wish I could. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
things are so busy that I
that
can't.
that's very incredible. And those are moments that your daughter's never going to forget. And you girls just had an incredible bonding experience. Let me ask you, like in the middle of the week when you're literally in the trenches and the kids need to get to school or practice or wherever it may be, I mean, are you hiring a nanny? I mean, who's helping you on the personal side? I know you have a team for the professional side, but how are you handling the personal side?
I have a 19-year-old that sometimes kind of helps me, but really I do a lot of it, or my husband does help too. He kind of works from home. I seem to have to be out more and out with clients, so he kind of does that. Like he'll take her to her guitar lessons, which are, Wednesday afternoon. That usually is like right when I have stuff going on. I do get help that way. I don't have a nanny or, a babysitter or anything like that. I have just like family that helps me, or I do it. I figure out a way to, my work where I work and live and everything is, in like a 5 mile radius. So I can always usually kind of just even pick her up and then drop her back off at home while I, have appointments and stuff.
Let's backtrack a little bit. As a parent, I know that I have to be at a certain level to then meet my kids' needs, right? I can't show up, half-hearted to my kids' lives or the moments that I have with my kids. Do I do it sometimes? Yeah, I'm human. So how do you get Bree ready so you take care of Bree and then that trickles into your kids' experience when they're bonding with you?
It's actually really hard for me because my work is, I don't have like a 9 to 5. So it's really hard for me to turn off work even when I am home and I should have it turned off. So that's something I actually struggle with. And I wouldn't say that I'm the best at it. Like even during dinner, if I have an important call, like I'll have to take it. So for me, that's something I actually really need to work on. And even my kids complain about. I'm not there on that one. Um, unfortunately.
I'm guilty of the same thing. I mean, I think it's just a part of our industry, right? We want to give first class service, and that's just a part of it sometimes, right?
One thing I did, I used to always, make plans. And then in our business, it's like something comes up and, it's a client coming in town. I have to cancel the plans or whatever I've had planned with my children for weeks. And that I really have stopped. If I make plans with them, I'll just give it to my, team members, and I will actually stick to it. Which before I would like, no, I got to do this. I have to do this. I was kind of just working like too much. And now I've kind of have taken a little step back. I do try to do that. So if I make plans with them, I definitely am going to keep that.
You are able to do that because you have a team. So you may not have a nanny or, let's say, extended family at home that's helping you, like a grandma or whatever, but you do have support to do that indirectly by your team, right? So if something comes up, or if, hey, you know what, I want to be a part of my daughter's guitar recital or what have you, but you have to go show a property, you can always delegate that to your team. That's something that maybe isn't obvious to people who are watching or listening, but having a team or having a support system in another aspect of your life does still impact other aspects of your life. And case in point, right? I mean, like, you have that support in the business side, so you can show up differently on the personal side.
Yes, I mean, I agree with that. And I actually do have a little help at home. Like I said, my husband does do. I mean, he's kind of more like the wife, and I'm like the working husband in the relationship, kind of.
Yeah, for sure. And
He
that's a
does.
good dynamic too for the girls, and for you to be able to be boss lady, right? Like, be out there and do your thing.
Where I work, a lot of the moms don't work, and they on top of it have nannies.
Right.
And here I am working full time and having like
Yes.
one of the best years I've had, and I don't have that. And my daughter was kind of funny the other day. She was like, "Gosh, mom, I wish we could have a nanny," because her best friend has a nanny, and so I drop her over there, and she goes and plays with her friend and their nanny.
Right.
But I just told her, like, I love what I do. I love working. I mean, if I couldn't be out there, making deals happen and stuff, I'd die. So to me, it's
Right.
like, I think it's important for my kids to see, gosh, my mommy doesn't have to go to work. She wants to go to work. And I try to instill that in them. Like, I don't ever want them to have to rely on someone to take care of them. They should always be able to take care of themselves. And, I've been divorced and married and divorced and stuff. So, I mean, to me, that's really important to teach my girls, because I see a lot of things happen where I live, and I just don't ever want them to get in that situation.
Being the boss lady that you are, and
Yes.
and a leader of the team, the real estate team, and also leader of the house a little bit. Have you seen any of your qualities rub off onto the girls so far? Like, maybe any aspirations for them to get into real estate or start their own little business or anything?
Well, actually, my oldest daughter, who's 19, is studying to get her real estate license. So she wants
There
to
you
come work
go.
with me. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That's cool.
Well,
Yeah.
That's cool. I love that. I have two daughters, and Mike, I know you have one, and just having a daughter changes the way I look at life now. It's just kind of like, how can I create a life or create a world around her where she feels supported, she could do anything. Both of my girls now, like, I have almost a 2-year-old now. I'm like, okay, now I have double the work in terms of just like, how can I create a mindset for them and give them the resources so they have just, I don't need dad, because dad gave me the mindset and the mental practices for me to succeed in just about anything I put my mind to. That's my ultimate goal. And yes, I'm going to support them financially, materialistically, however possible on this physical plane, but like, I'm going to translate, or rather I'm going to transfer information and knowledge, and this is a big part of it, right? Learning from you, Bree. Like, when I met you years ago, you were just starting off, and you've quickly grown into a very successful individual, but also a successful team. What kind of mindset have you created for yourself? Like, is that something that you try to instill in your daughters, consciously or subconsciously even?
I mean, I do. I feel like I am really always positive. I get along with all of the agents that I work with, and I really try to, just always be positive. I do feel like your energy and what you're thinking really affects what comes your way. I mean, I'm a big believer in that. I keep a daily journal. I do believe, like, what you write down. I mean, things do happen. So, I mean, my kids are aware of that. I mean, they're big into yoga. They meditate. I try to meditate. I'm a little too ADHD to do it, but at least I try.
Powerful. I agree. I mean, I'm so on board with that. I'm like, look, do what you love, and if it's not the traditional route, try it, right? Because nothing is promised, right? You don't know how long you have. You don't know. I know that we all have, I believe at least, I know that we all have a purpose, and we all have a destiny, and we get to be a part of that creation of that destiny.